Green. Hey guys, didn't expect to run into you. Yeah, crazy coincidence, huh? We're heading back to the dormitory too? Yeah, it was the idea. Why don't we all head back together then? It's nice seeing the flowers as they start to bloom. Yeah, I know you said earlier that they would be in full bloom in a week, but I'm thinking it will be closer to the end of the month, personally. Just in time for the welcoming ceremony. The students will be able to begin their academic lives here, surrounded by a line of flowers just as we did. Wonderful. You've all known each other since your first day here, right? That's right, nobody else started partway through the year like you did. But back then, I never could have imagined we'd get along this well. We got off to kind of a rocky start. You're telling me. Especially Marcus and Chooses. Ja, das war irgendwie schon so lange her, Jesus. Es fühlt sich irgendwie so lange her an, aber auch irgendwie so, auch so gar nicht, als wäre es auch wie gestern gewesen. Das ist so weird. Oh, as well, I do regret the way I behaved back then. It's not exactly something I'm terribly proud of. I think nothing of it. Immaturity makes fools of even the best of us at times. Thanks. Hold on. Well, what's with that expression? You're not exactly standing on the moral high ground here, either. I wouldn't have had as much of a reason to behave the way I did if you hadn't kept looking down your nose at me. Don't hear me say, the best of us? It was hell on all of us at the time. But it's all just a fun memory now. I suppose the same could be said about your Green Stud incident at the start of the year, couldn't it? Just had to bring that up, didn't you? I should have seen this coming. Oh, the incidents are my favorite. Tell me. Well, don't you dare. She's the last person who needs to know. Our first day really was full of surprises. Yeah, can you imagine too many teachers welcome the students by dropping them through a hole in the floor? Yeah, without having to fight a gargoyle on the way out, it's a pretty memorable start to the school year. The gargoyle proved to be quite the opponent too. As I and when we finally managed to pull it together and defeat it, she just casually drops in like nothing happened. It's like she was lying in wait the whole time, watching and waiting for a chance to strike. That's exactly what she was doing. Still, as exhausting and unusual as it was, that was how our class began. I'm very sure it's burned into all of our memories at this point. Or could it not be? I've no doubt about it. So I'm sure it's one of the memories that I will cherish decades into the future. No, now it got me all jealous. Oh, it's my turn to do something crazy and make some super duper memories too. Don't you dare. Try to imagine what she's thinking when she says something crazy. Hopefully unrelated note. What are we gonna do for dinner tonight? We'd only planned on getting something out of Kirsch's, but if anyone has any better ideas? I think it might be a good idea to make something for ourselves. If we divided up the work between us, I'm sure we will have quite a bit of variety too. That sounds nice. My cooking skills were in danger of getting rusty too. No Texans here. And as anyone has what they need already, I think it's time to split up. We probably get a lot to buy, so... Sharon!
Huh?
Our angel maid uniform.
あなたはだからシャロン、なんであなたがいるのよ。会長のお許しをいただきまして 今一度第三学生寮の管理人を拝命いたしました。短い期間ではございますが、皆様のお世話をさせていただきます。早速今夜のお食事も準備している最中ですわ。
そうだったんですか。
じゃあ遠慮なく。
世話になろう。
今夜はごちそうだね。って RF グループの立て直しを手伝っているんじゃなかったの？おまけに春以降の注文が殺到して生産ラインが追いつかないって。大旦那様がお戻りになったので今のところは大丈夫ですわ。会長と張り合いながら諸案件を次々と片付けてらっしゃいますし。なあ、もう。
Oh, interessant zu hören, dass Gwyn wieder zurück ist.
さすがはグエンローだな。
ああ、お腹空いた。ちょっと暖かくなってきたし、そろそろビールの季節よね。ってあら、何してるの君たち。ゲゲ、なんであんたがここにいるのよ。
ご無沙汰しております、サラ様。ビールのおつまみでしたら牡蠣の燻製やオイルサーディンを仕込んでおりますけど、ご夕食の時にお付けしますか？
よろしくお願いします。
シャロンさん、微妙な立場なのに結構平気で動いているよね。
Ja, weil man bedenkt, was er eigentlich alles so gemacht hat, aber okay. Vor allem ich muss auch sagen, ich finde die Beziehung zwischen Sarah, Claire und Sharon sehr interessant. Sie sind irgendwie Freunde. Sind auch irgendwie Rivale auf einen Morgen oder was, weißt du? Aber irgendwie mögen sie sich auch einfach nicht. Und zumindest irgendwie mag Sarah sie auch einfach nicht.
多分 RF 社と帝国政府の間で協定が結ばれてるんだろうな。まあシャロンさんなら関係なしに手伝いに来てくれそうだけど。
True. I mean, sie sind Urbosen Forces. Die haben die Möglichkeit zu tun, was sie wollen, weil sie halt auch schwer, weil es auch sehr schwer ist, sie halt unter einen Hut zu kriegen. Man kann ihnen halt auch nicht einfach sagen, was sie tun sollen, weil sie halt einfach stark genug sind, sich einfach zu holen, was sie wollen. Siehe Bleu Blanc. Ich glaube, das ist das beste Beispiel dafür. I think I might have eaten too much. It's been so long since we last had Sharon cooking. She hasn't lost her touch, but it feels heavy on my stomach at all. Well, that's all my work done for the day. Maybe we should go see how everyone else is doing. Let's progress in storm on the night before each free day. Be aware whether the story will progress should you return to Green's room. First order of business. All the black records in the book were updated. Black Record 1. The Gods of Creation. Before Septian Calendar. In the beginning, there were two great gods. One boasted unrivaled courage, the other unparalleled fortitude. They descended from the heavens with their kin, and it was upon the dark land below they first met. Calamity. The opposing natures incompatible, the two were drawn irresistibly into battle, and thus began a struggle that shook heaven and earth. The goddess and the spirits' laments were for naught, and the land quaked. The skies were torn asunder, and the gods' kin could only tremble in fear. At what seemed like an eternity, their clash came to an end, but it was an end of mutual defeat. Their power spent, the empty shells of the two celestial titans were flung into the furthest reaches of the dark land. All that remained in their wake were terrible, their kin and the great power. Hust, hust. Das sind die zwei Statuen, die wir in den Northern Highlands gesehen haben und die wir nicht direkt gesehen haben, aber unsere andere Klasse gesehen hat in dem Trip zu, ich glaube, Baranya Island hieß sie. Das müsste Baranya Island sein. Was in der Nähe von Orders ist. Das sind die 2 Giant Statues da, auf die hier Bezug genommen wird. The Dark Dragon, Year 371, Septian Calendar. 20 years after Heimdall was first founded, runes rose on monstrous rings from the depths of the earth. Its name was Thor Agruga, the Dark Dragon. Den Namen haben wir auch schon mal gehört. A malevolent creature of terrible power, it spread a miasma throughout the capital that turned Heimdall into a city of the dead. But ours did not end there. The evil dragon desecrated the corpse of the fallen, taking control of their bodies and using them to attack those who remained alive, further increasing the legions of the dead. The emperor at the time, Astorius II, was forced to flee the city with what remained of his household and his citizens. Together they retreated south and established a new capital in the land of Saint Ark. Through 100 years and 6 more emperors, the bane of Heimdall went unchallenged. It was the 7th, Hector I, who resolved to recapture the city. Time had proved an ally to the beast, however, and the dragon's influence had spread over the surrounding area like a plague. Undaunted, Hector I led an army of brave knights into the necropolis in an attempt to free it. But though their hearts were steadfast, their arrival was met by legions of powerful fiends, and their efforts seemed doomed to an end in failure. It was then that Hector I had a fateful encounter with none other than the great Vermilion Knight, Testarossa. The knight recognized Hector I as its master, and boasted by its immense power and countless weapons, the emperor moved once again on the city and to the decisive encounter with the Dark Dragon. The battle shook the city to its core, and at the end the Vermilion Knight was victorious. The scourge of Heimdall, the Dark Dragon, was defeated. However, the price of victory is steep. The corrupted blood that flowed from the dragon claimed Hector's life and defiled even the knight itself, placing a curse upon it. The noble Testarossa became the Crimson Calamity, a demon with 1,000 weapons that only reacts to the blood of the Arnor family, a destructive force on par with the Dark Dragon that, should control of it ever be lost, would threaten the world and all who live in it. It was here, deep underground, never intended to again see the light of day. When a new city arose from the ashes of the old, the people once again began to gather in Heimdall, and that was when the remaining capital, that endures to this day, was first built. Das gibt uns einmal schon mal den Hint. Die Divine Knights gibt es nicht schon erst seit 250 Jahren, sondern schon seit fast 1000 Jahren, mindestens. In den Jahren 370 Testarossa hier benannt wird, heißt es, diese gibt es eigentlich schon seit, ja doch, schon mindestens 900 Jahren, wenn nicht sogar vielleicht schon seit der Zeit vor dem Septian Kalender. Und der Drache. Thor Agruga, The Dark Dragon. Erinnert ihr euch noch in Kurztier 1? In den Katakomben unter Heimdall? Als Alfin und Elise gekidnappt wurden, mussten wir gegen einen Knochendrachen kämpfen. Das ist die Connection hier. Das sind die Überreste von Thor Agruga. Und es wird auch nicht das letzte Mal sein, dass wir von Thor Agruga hören. Ich sage mal so viel. Das wird nochmal zurückkommen. Auf eine andere Art und Weise, aber es wird nochmal zurückkommen. The War of the Lion begins the year 947. In the year 947, Emperor Valius V passed away. His death heralded the beginning of the largest-scale civil war in Erebonian history. Valius V was a ruler with a somewhat debaucherous reputation, and is said to have had countless wives and concubines. To further complicate the matter of succession, Many of those wives came from prestigious noble families, all of whom began competing for power and wanted their offspring to take the throne. Within days of Valius V's death, Crown Prince Mechfights, the son of his first wife, was assassinated by an unknown party. Following the death of the Crown Prince, the fourth prince and son of the first of Emperor Valius' secondary wives, Prince Orpheus, seized the capital by force. Wie wir schon mitbekommen haben, Prince Orpheus war der Vorfahre von Kain. Once in control, he declared himself the new emperor and began purging all those who dared to oppose. The coup set off a succession of counterclaims, and 3 other princes also named themselves to be new emperor. Backed by the powerful noble families of their mothers, the competing princesses ignited a bloody 5-year-long civil war, and thus the War of the Lions began. At first, the princes' armies were largely equal in terms of strength. It was until Orpheus, who would later come to be known as the fourth emperor, revived the being that had long been sealed under the city that the balance of power shifted. The Testarossa, the legendary Romanian knight, now tainted by the blood of Sir Agruga, saw the light of day once more. With so much strength under his control, Orpheus decimated this greatest competition in one fell swoop. The fifth prince Gunnar was defeated. It seemed inevitable that the armies of the other princesses would share the same fate, but it was at this pivotal point that the war took yet another surprising and sudden turn. An unexpected development came in the form of another great knight, the Palatinate Knight. The famed champion was acquired by Prince Lucius, the sixth and youngest of the feuding brothers, and with its power he was able to defeat the army of the brilliant strategist and second prince Albert. Victorious and backed by the knight's power, Prince Lucius was poised to challenge Orpheus. Prince Gunnar and Albert's armies, however, were not completely wiped out and decided to join forces with one another in order to oppose the other princesses. It was thus that the war became one fought by 3 separate groups: Prince Orpheus with the Vermilion Knight, Prince Lucius with the Platinate Knight, and Princes Gunnar and Albert, who had no knight but compensated with their sheer numbers. The War of the Lions had been raging for 2 years now, and the chaos only worsened by the day. Erebonia seemed fated to fall into ruins and darkness, fitting, perhaps, for a nation that takes its name from Erebos. Drexel takes up arms in the year 949. Young man, laced on a grassy plain, enjoyed a nap in the peaceful setting. Before long, however, his rest was interrupted by the arrival of a second young man on horseback. The youth wore the trappings of a knight, and his expression was deathly serious. His armor bore many rents and scratches as his left arm was bound in a bloody bandage. The first young man had not seen him in several years, but the chief reunion didn't seem to be his purpose. "You're right after all," Sigmund said gravely. "At this rate, the Empire's day is unnumbered." At first, the first young man rose from the grass. He is none other than the third prince of the Roman Empire, Prince Drexel. As a man with no claims to the throne, due to his common mother and shunned by the other high-born princesses, Drexel had long since left Erebonia behind, wandering from place to place and whiling away his days. 3 years prior, he had reached the land of Nord, where he had remained ever since. Though left to his own devices since childhood, his nature was noble and he was quickly accepted by the people of Nord and lived peacefully among them. But while he had left his homeland, he had not truly abandoned it in his heart. During his wanderings, his mother had passed away, but while she lived, she had taught him something that would remain with him for the rest of his days. The blood flowing through you will not allow you to turn your back on the Empire's suffering. Prince Drexel had turned those words over in his head again and again. What could a powerless vagrant like himself truly hope to do? The night's arrival, however, signified 2 things: that the war continued to worsen, and that Erebonia was on a certain path to ruination. His mother was probably correct. During the night's words, he decided that enough was enough. He could ignore the pain of his countrymen no longer. The knight, incidentally, was called Roland. He was a childhood friend of Drexel's and his confidant. He was also the man who Drexel had left in charge of things in his place before leaving the country. Prince Drexel set about preparing to depart, but before he could finish, he was met by several of the tall knights of Nord, their cross-shaped spears in hand. They too were close friends of Drexel's, and they volunteered to accompany him and Roland, fearing that the two men alone would not stand a chance. The next morning the prince departed the village, a mere 17 men under his command. They bade farewell to the people of the settlement, and its elder wished them well. May the winds and the goddess be with you, he blessed them. Fortune favor you all. The war comes to an end in the year of 952. Prince Strix's opponents were the armies of the 4th Prince Orpheus and his Vermilion Knight, 6th Prince Lucius with his Platinate Knight, and the combined forces of the remaining princes Gunnar and Albert, who had a legion of magical golems under their control. Yet it has he, the illegitimate son of a commoner and latecomer to the war, who emerged triumphant. His victory did not come without losses, however. During his return to Ribonia, Roland fell in battle. Not long after that, however, he met a woman who would change his destiny forever. The woman was none other than the daughter of Count Sandlot, who hailed from the lakeside town of Legram. Her charismatic personality and peerless skill with the lance earned her the leadership of a band of knights known as the Eisenritter and the moniker Lance Maiden. Her name was Lyanna Sandlot. Prince Strixer and Lyanna Sandlot may have come from widely different backgrounds, but the concerns for the innocent victims of the war united them in purpose, to bring an end to the bloodshed. It was shared feelings that made them join forces. The two of them, along with the warriors of Nord, the Eisenritter, and all of the other people of the nation whose hearts they moved, liberated one town after another, and were eventually successful in persuading even Prince Lucius, owner of the Platinate Knight, to fight for their cause. At the same time, however, the false emperor schemed to elevate the cursed Vermilion Knight to even greater power, godhood, and thus the Vermilion Apocalypse was created. The demonic god emerged in Heimdall alongside a monstrous castle and vanquished the approaching armies of Albert and Gunnar in a single battle. The end was anything but conventional, however. They were simply erased from existence. Even the Platinate Knight could not contend with such a foe and was felled, and as it decimated all who challenged the false emperor, countless crimson spirit rains spread out from the castle, stealing the very lives from the capital's citizens as well as those in the surrounding area. Defeat seemed all but inevitable for Prince Strixer and the Lance Maiden and their followers, but they refused to give up. Following the guidance of a kindly witch, they were led to a new great knight which slumbered on the outskirts of Heimdall. After overcoming a trial, they were able to claim the Azure Knight and its power. With it in hand, along with the many supporters and the army of Prince Lucius, they marched onto the capital for the final time, eventually making their way to the castle at its center. 3 days later, on the 4th of July, year 952, the castle vanished from existence and the city was liberated. Den Platinate Knight haben wir noch nicht gesehen. Der Platinate Knight ist nicht Odin, sondern ein anderer. Und die, die Hexe, die Strixers hingeführt hat, werden wir auch noch kennenlernen. So, ich bin gerade wundern, was Erebos überhaupt heißt. Okay, in Greek mythology, Erebos, or Erebos, is personification of darkness. He is the offspring of Chaos and the father of Eva and Hemera. By Nyx Night. In other Greek cosmogonies, he is the father of Eva, Eros, and Metis, or the first ruler of the gods. In genealogies given by the Roman authors, he begets a large progeny of personifications upon Nox, the Roman equivalent of Nyx, while in an Orphic theogony he is an offspring of Coronos. His name Erebus is also used to refer either to the darkness of the underworld itself, or the region through which souls pass to reach Hades, and can sometimes be used as a synonym for Tartarus or Hades. Yeah, etymology, the meaning of the word Erebos is darkness or gloom. Referring then of the underworld, it derives from the Proto-Indo-European darkness and is cognated with the Sanskrit dark lower in dust, the Armenian Eric evening, and the Gothic Ericus in Old Norse Logger of the dark and dust. Ja, okay. Mhm. Und dann haben wir noch ein bisschen Erebonian Lordamp. Einiges, wovon wir schon wussten, einiges, was noch so ein bisschen nochmal weiter in die früheren Zeiten geht. Und es gibt auch schon nochmal so ein bisschen so Hinweise darauf, wie groß vielleicht auch das Geld von dem ganzen Spaß hier ist. Weil ich sag mal so, diese Great Power, von der hier gesprochen worden ist, die vor den Septien-Kalender gekommen ist, kann doch nur so ziemlich eines heißen, oder? Who knows? Aber man kann so viel sagen, Septiensbaum ist ja noch kein Thema. Bisher. Und wir wissen, dass Urobos immer irgendwas mit Septiens zu tun hat. Gut. Dann reden wir mal mit allen. Beziehungsweise fast allen. Here's Gross Room. I think I will stay away from it for now. Feel more like going around and talking to everyone. Hey, my guess, working hard or I'll stop you right there. Of course I'm hard at work, just look at the size of this book. I can't internalize as much of it as possible. I'm here, I'm doomed to failure from the start. This is one of your new textbooks? Man, Heimdallr's political academies don't mess around, do they? You'll be the youngest person there, right? Most likely. I'd normally need to have graduated from Force with a bit more experience under my belt to have gotten in. There are a few Force credits there already though. They take some every year. As I might imagine, the recent political upheaval has the place swarming with applicants this year. The exam was hard enough on its own, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Can't say only you. So, I know you're going to be just fine. You're so smart that you can handle any subject they throw at you. Going up with your dad should give you a leg up on the politics too. No pressure there. Honestly, there are times when I think diving into things at first like this is a giant mistake. What's wrong? Oh, it's nothing. It's just, I know we're probably going to both be really busy around last coming spring, but let's make time to have lunch together once in a while or something, okay? Studying is all well and good, but even I need a change of pace every now and again. I think that can be arranged. The train from here to Heimdall only takes a half hour. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't hang out sometime. And is it late? Das ist auch eine kleine Szene, die man dann auch wieder im Anime, im Novel War Anime sieht, wo die sich mal in Heimdall chillen und treffen. You're finishing up your painting, guys. Yeah, this is my last one. I want to make sure I'm completely satisfied with it before declaring it finished. Understandable. You're going to keep painting once you're back at home, though, right? Well, I don't know how much time I have to set aside for it, but I intend to keep working on it bit by bit. There's growing reasons for concern in Calvert to the east of the Highlands. But all in all, things are more peaceful than they were. Peaceful now than they were. Should be able to focus on painting my magnum opus. Oh, is it going to be up north? If anyone can make a masterpiece of the Highlands, it would be you. That wouldn't be such a bad idea. But actually, I was intending to paint a picture of the academy, the students, and the courageous. You mean... Now you're getting it. I want to capture the day we liberated the academy. And once I finish it, I fully intend to return to Erebonia with it in hand. What better way to forever memorialize this place as my second homeland? Man, you really are amazing. Well, if you ever need reference material, you know who to call. You can get pictures of anything you might need and send them over. I know you're talented, but that's a lot to paint off just your memory. I appreciate that. Something to mind chooses? For the first time in a long time? No, just taking a short break. Looking over an endless sea of documents can be rather tiring on the eyes. Oh, are those the tax reports you mentioned? Ordinarily, this would be my father's work, but His Majesty has yet to decide his fate. Rupert hasn't so much as glanced in Barriard's direction since he took this new job in Grosper either. As such, the task fell to me. Man, I knew everyone in our class had it pretty rough right now, but you've got it the roughest, no contest. If may get its way, I would boast that filling in for my father is a simple and mundane task. But on top of the paperwork, I need to manage the Burundian army and oversee the province as a whole. Then there's a matter of keeping the most stubborn of the nobility in check. Don't expect the first 6 months to be pleasant. And the fact that you're already thinking 6 months ahead is pretty impressive as it is. Standing in for Duke Arborea like that must take some real confidence. I know you managed though. Much is obvious. What is it? It's nothing. In the days to come, more people will be relying on you than ever before. But no matter who it asks or what they ask, don't be so bright as a novel. Act independently, your head high. Maintain your pride and your autonomy, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Thanks. I promise I will. I hold you to that. Hello, Elliot. Taking care of your violin? Yeah, it's taken care of me over the past year, so why not return the favor? I'm actually planning on giving a few of them to the academy before I go. Just to make sure next year's first years have something to practice with. It's really generous and sure to make a lot of people happy. And you'll finally be heading off to a music academy, just like I always wanted. I bet they'll push you pretty hard over there too. I don't doubt it. I'm going to need to be all music all the time if I want to stand a chance at keeping up. To be honest, after all the time I've spent here, I don't really want my life to be completely about music. I love it, obviously, but to be a balanced person, I want to have a bit more variety in my life, like I had here at the academy. For one thing, I don't want to get too rusty with my noble staff. Good to hear. I hope it works out for you. Thanks, me too. No, that's nothing. Oh wait, Hamdallah and Trista are really close, so don't be a stranger, okay? I know you're gonna have tons of work to get through between your classes and your missions, but don't worry, I'll make time. I'm sure we have plenty of chances to see each other. There's still a ton of Hamdallah I haven't seen too. You have to show me around next time I make it over there. You bet. Gut, gehen wir mal hoch. Feeling sad about leaving the lacrosse club behind? Yeah, I was really into it by the end. I think it will make for some wonderful memories to look back fondly on in the years to come. Can you imagine? Does that mean you're not gonna keep up with lacrosse in a row? I don't think I will be able to. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any local teams I could join. And even if there were, I doubt I'd have the time for sports. Just thinking about how busy I will be makes my head spin. No, scratch that. Being busy is all the more reason I need to make time for exercise. Yeah, good luck with that. Hanging out with the Reinford group sounds like a recipe for an all-nighter after one all-nighter after the other. Yeah. Not just yet, actually. I won't be having until grandfather shows me the ropes. As I'm now, I doubt I will be able to do much at all in the way of rebuilding the company. But you can bet I will leave mother speechless with how much progress I've made in a year's time. I'm sure you can if you put your mind to it. Oh yeah. And I know Sharon will always be willing to help you out if you need her. She probably would, but then you'd just tell everything she did to Mother. Lisa? Oh, don't worry about it. I was just thinking about how blessed I am. I've got a wonderful family, a great club I'm part of. All of you as my classmates. Right. It takes a long time to realize. It took me a long time to realize the same thing too. Jesus, the reason. We are one and the same. Yeah. Lisa. Yeah, it's nothing, honestly. I'm just feeling a bit emotional all of a sudden. I don't know what's gotten into me. Nothing's wrong though, I promise. But so, let's both make the most of our free day tomorrow. It's the last one we'll ever have as a class. The last thing any of us want to do is end it with regrets. Yeah, agreed. Let's make it a day to remember for both of us. What are you looking at, Laura? That's Irene. I'll show you. Aww. Oh, you and Monica got a picture taken together. You look both so happy in it too. Here we do. Someone in the photography club kindly able to take it for us. Let me guess, Rex. I thought it would make for a fine souvenir of my time at the academy to take away with me. Amir's on that being Rex. Oh well, it's a nice photo and you got permission. For once. Ganz genau. Auch genau mein guess. And I expected you and Monica would get so close. Between her and Fee, you kind of have a knack for becoming the best of friends with the ones you bump heads with first. Please don't say that. I'm truly grateful to both of them for broadening my horizons. Meeting them enriched my life in ways I could have never pictured before. Truly, coming to this academy was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I didn't realize it made such a big impact on you. Well, you did. And don't mind me, I'm just feeling a little emotional. This isn't like me at all now, is it? There's no harm in a few tears, I suppose. This will be my last time I can relax before my training, after all. Yeah. You're going to get much rest in with the training you got lined up. I won't be learning just at school advanced techniques of training any less intense. I have no idea where we'll be conducting training, but it will no doubt be as perilous as it will be dangerous. I had to spend a month in the Isengard range as a part of mine. I don't think I'm just going to cut it with what you're doing though. It goes way beyond your average techniques. Indeed, I'm anticipating that it will take at least half a year, if not more. Father's going to be with me, but with things as difficult as they are, a part of me feels guilty for taking up his time. I don't know about that. I think him agreeing to join with you shows how much faith he has in your potential. Besides, in a lot of ways, this might be the best time to do it. It is very true. What's wrong? Nothing at all. You got us. I'd love to come and visit you should the opportunity present itself. And if it does, I'd like to formally request a duel with you to test how much the two of us have grown. Let's not kid ourselves. We both know who is going to win the duel. But the invitation is all the motivation I need to get plenty of training myself. Can't have you beating me too badly. You will. Ich finde es interessant, dass zu dem Zeitpunkt noch nicht über Lauras Vater gesprochen wird. Es gibt einen ganz bestimmten Grund, warum ich das gerade sage, aber wir werden es rausfinden. Ach stimmt, das sind die Pflanzen, die wir mit Vieh verteilt haben im Kurs 1. Well, what are you doing? Oh, hi Doreen. Well, Dorothy and I decided that we are gonna put together one final collection of stories as a club. Since then, I've been working on a story for the students who will join the club next year. Ah, that sounds neat. Wait, if Dorothy is involved... The content is totally appropriate for children of all ages, I assure you. Admittedly, Dorothy's own story sounds like it will have a few of her favorite literary elements, but all in moderation, she assured. Not that I'm one to judge. What kind of story are you writing? It's supposed to be a fairy tale. I can't pretend it's 100% original though. I borrowed some elements from a story I heard as a child. It's going to star a golden unicorn and a pure-hearted maiden. Or at least that's the plan. What's interesting. Can I give it a read when you're done? I'll still be here next year, so if I see any first years who seem like they're enjoying it, I recommend it to them. To confess, I'm a little embarrassed to let anyone see it, but the whole point of a story is to be read. Something wrong? No, not at all. I'm sure you and Valimar will be just fine without my help now. Still, if you do need anything, don't hesitate to get in touch. It may take some time to contact me though. You need to use a method that isn't exactly conventional. I could have guessed as much. I mean, if you readily get how to use runes to communicate since you told me, I have no idea how it actually works. I'd be shocked if you did. It's pretty far removed from the open technology you're used to. It has its benefits though. For one, you'll be able to reach me no matter where it might be. So don't ever hesitate to drop me a line if you need my assistance. I'd always be happy to hear from you. Right, shall I give you a ring? Or a rune, I guess. Everyone end up being able to find Vida too. Thank you. Ja, Emma wird als nächstes versuchen, halt Vida zu finden. Oh, du hast die Hilfskarte? Yep, it'll give them to me. They all came from the plans we grew in the garden club. I'm just looking at the kinds they are here. Yeah, that's really nice of her. It's kind of like you can take everything you've achieved over the past year with you. Yeah. I wasn't even going to join the club until Ida found me relaxing and invited me. But I guess it wasn't so bad. Don't worry, I'll be sure to check on the gardening club every once in a while, just to see how things are going. It would be a shame if all the plants you spent so long looking after were to wither and die. It doesn't matter. Even if they do, they will eventually bloom again somewhere else. Kind of like us. And you put it that way, I suppose you're right. Gee, what's wrong? You couldn't do with some more worrying too. Though that probably goes for the both of us. Still don't know whether or not I am doing the right thing, but it does feel right. But it doesn't feel right abandoning a member of my family like this. Maybe I should stay with you at least. Fee, you talked about us, right? Hate to say it, but going our separate ways is best for the both of us right now. You only get one life, so I want you to make the most of it. Don't hold yourself back for my sake or anyone else's. The same holds true for all of our other classmates too. I guess. I want to find out where Sina and Leo went. The rest of the corp too. I still want to find out what they meant by bringing back the boss. No, not want to, need to. I don't want you to put yourself in any more danger than you have to, but I know how much your family means to you. So more than anything else, I want you to do what you feel you need to do. Don't worry about me. I'll be right here waiting for you to come back when you're done. You better. Once I find more, I'll introduce you. Because of all my new family members, you're the most special to me. That's so adorable as fuck. Jesus. Ich mag die Romance-Option mit Vieh sehr. Yeah, that will go over really well with your family of Jägers. I mean, es hat sich ja schon so ein bisschen gezeigt in, ja, you know. Of the Panda Girl. Oder? Bring it on! When Ich glaube, ey, wir werden heute echt nicht das Game noch finishen, weil wir haben noch den Free Day morgen und wir haben immer noch den Final Dungeon morgen. Na! Ich dachte, ich wäre mit dem Imperial Karte durch, aber ich habe selber verpennt, dass es noch so viel Post-Credit kommt. Schön die Neufigur daneben rumchillt. Was hat man hier? Oh, hey, Reen. What's nothing, I just feel kinda down. Down? Yeah, I was just thinking about how everyone was at dinner time. Sharon's food was really nice, and we all seemed like we were having a good time. But I don't know, it was weird. We were all upset, but didn't want to let it show. It's been bugging me. Oh, so that's why. We really have grown so much these past few months. Not just mentally, I think you've gotten a little taller too. Maybe about 2 rank or so? Judging by my specs, I'm not gonna get much taller than this though. I'm mini-medium farther than ever. But you never know, maybe I'll grow up to have boobies so big I can use them as a shelf like Emma's. Something wrong? Nah, not really. So I've got a new mission starting this month, right? Yep, I've gotta go see how things are out west. Dukayan's been arrested, but it sounds like things are still pretty nuts over there. Oh, but guess what? I might get to go out to Liberal and run me Ferrier soon. What is it with you on blabbing classified information? Well, whatever. Just promise me you will take care of yourself. And be sure to keep in touch. I'll always be right there when you need me, okay? Ich muss immer noch Akatsuki no Kiseki spielen, by the way. Aber die Fan-Translation ist, glaube ich, immer noch im Brawdog-Chapter, ne? Ja, ich muss mal gucken. Akatsuki no Kiseki spielt ja auch eigentlich während des Crossbills in Erebonia Arcs. Das wird eigentlich im Calvert Arc dann schon wieder vorbei sein, aber ich glaube, ich werde auch mal dann zusammensammeln, was in Akatsuki no Kiseki passiert. Zumindest so ein kleines bisschen aus dem Wiki, damit wir wenigstens ein bisschen Ahnung haben. Ich werde mal, da werde ich mal noch eine kleine Wiki-Recherche machen, während ich für Nirgendwo den Rest zusammenschreibe. And be sure to keep in touch. I'll always be right there when you need me, okay? Right on, I promise. Did I go start for you, mister? If you need me to bust you out of a jam, just say the word. Akatsuki no Kiseki spielt in Remifaria. Wir haben jetzt Remifaria schon öfters gehört. Something in mind, instructor? You could say that. Been mulling over how things are gonna be next month, but all this soul searching is giving me a headache. It'll probably feel strange being back with the guild for the first time in 2 years. But I bet they will be glad to have you back. Things are probably going to be rough over there, even with you taking up the praise alive again. But upstairs, can already see plenty of traveling abroad in my future after what happened over in Crossbow. I imagine it will keep getting harder and harder for us braces to operate here too. What if it's that puppy look? There's no reason for you to feel ashamed of what you've chosen to do. I'm proud to have a student like you who can stand up and make the tough choices that life thrusts on us. Thanks, instructor. I'll try to just grin and bear it for now. Attaboy! Singing out through the hard times with a smile will put you on the fast track to becoming a brave man. Just make sure you don't try to shoulder too much. All that will do is turn you into a jaded grump. Everything in moderation, okay? Oh, thanks. I haven't joined the intelligence division, and I have no plans to. I'm going to keep responding to their requests, but only if I'm comfortable doing what they're asking. And I can promise you, I will never do anything that would put me in conflict with the guild or put innocents' lives at risk. I don't know what the future will bring for me, but that's the creed I want to stand by. I know, don't worry. No matter what happens, you'll always be my student. So go out there, live your life, and grow into such a heartthrob that I won't be able to take my eyes off you. Well, I'll try. Gucken wir noch runter. Vielleicht hat Sharon noch was zu uns. Good evening, Mazarine. I thought you had already retired for the evening. How would you like for me to put together some supper? Appreciate it, but I think I've eaten more than I should have as it is. Your cooking really is delicious, Sharon. Starting to miss it after not having it for so long. It was my pleasure to cook for all of you again. So I poured out all the stopfist with this one. Seeing how you heavily indulge my handiwork always makes every second of preparation worth it. Something the matter, Mazarine? I was just thinking about how you haven't changed a bit. I'm not sure it's my place to ask, but is everything alright how it was? I can't help but wonder after how things turned out. We just seem really shocked. I'm afraid I haven't a clue. The word of what's been happening in the society has reached my ears since then. No idea the second Angus is now. Nor do I know what happened regarding the Phantasmal Blaze plan after the Chancellor declared he was taking it over. And quite frankly, none of it is my concern. The answers won't change who I am, and it won't suddenly cause me to shift priorities. I am, and always will be, a proud mate of the Reinford family. Remember those words. Not because of the freedom reinforces are granted, but because it is simply who I am. Much like how you being Dash and Chevalier doesn't change how you're also a proud member of Class 7. Suppose you're right. And no matter what happens to you in the future, never lose sight of who you really are. It's almost time for me to return to Row. But should you ever need me again, I'll gladly rush to your side. Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you can stay here for a while longer. Good. Das heißt aber auch, ja, wie man schon sieht, wir haben schon wieder um 11. Heute war doch nicht das komplette Finale von dem Game. Wir haben das primäre Story-Finale, ja. Und wir haben jetzt schon viel so Setup für What's to Come. Man merkt so, die Stimmung ist darauf aus, zu sagen, die Wege trennen sich erstmal. Jeder wird erstmal so die nächste Zeit so sein eigenes Ding machen. Wien wird noch ein Schuljahr haben. Wird nebenbei aber Missionen für die Intelligence Division ausführen müssen mit Valimar. Juices wird sich um die Kreuzenprovinz primär kümmern müssen. Alisa wird sich in der Reinford Company mehr eingliedern. Wird ein bisschen mehr mit Technik zu tun haben. Wird vielleicht auch in Kontakt mit Epstein, mit der Epstein Foundation und der Central Factory kommen. Oder vielleicht da Bekanntschaften machen. Hint, hint. Geist geht zurück nach Nord. Okay, passt. Elliot geht in eine Musikakademie, wie er es eigentlich initial wollte. Makias geht auch nach Heimdall, um dort auf eine Politikakademie zu gehen. Auch passend für ihn. Vieh geht auf Reisen. Primär um so herauszufinden, was mit Zephyr ist. Wird sie vielleicht auch noch eine andere Gruppierung anschließen. Who knows? Sarah geht zu den Brazern zurück. Die Brazern können jede Hilfe zurzeit gebrauchen, also ja. Laura wird sich einfach mehr auf ihr Training spezifizieren. Wird zurück nach Legram gehen. Emma wird auf die Suche nach Vita gehen. Soll auch eine Reise werden. Sharon ist dann mit Alisa bei Reinford. Oh. Medium wird auch für die Intelligence Division halt Missionen ausführen. Wie ich schon gesagt habe, Breen wird primär eher aber mit Altina zusammenarbeiten als mit Medium. Gut, ich sage mal, wir machen heute hier doch wieder für heute ein Ende. Es wird doch nicht das finale Stream sein. Nächstes Mal wird es das finale Stream sein. Hoffentlich. Und dort werden wir uns darum kümmern, unter anderem zum Free Day zu enjoyen. Und wir werden in den Final Dungeon reingehen. In den Rotary Corridor.
Yoshi.
Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal. Was kein Feedback und Support war. Ich sage bis dahin. Ciao. Bye bye.